What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back. And I do appreciate the support. Guys, it's been almost a week since the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And it's still making headlines. And today it's really going to make a lot of headlines because the suspected killer, Tyler Robinson, pictured here, is going to make his first court appearance. Now, all this week we've heard all different type of things about what's going on. We heard things about Tyler Robinson, his background, him having a trans girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever, him running his mouth on social media for attention, and all this other stuff. Well, more information has come out. They're talking about they got DNA on the rifle and all of this type of stuff. I'm telling you right now, this guy right here is going to get smoked. I told you before, a lot of times in these cases where some cases get more prestige and, you know, than others, when it fits a narrative, all of a sudden it takes off. This is one set case. Listen to the governor of Minnesota. Listen to FBI Director Kash Patel. Charlie was our friend. We'll ensure he gets justice. He facing federal and state charges out there in Utah. Utah carried the death penalty. You know what I'm saying? State, the feds do too, but it's harder to get. You can guarantee you this guy is going to get the death penalty. You can guarantee it. Trump came out personally and broke the news first before the press conference last Friday that they got the guy. Y'all better pay attention. You better pay attention. That was big, and a lot of people glanced right over that. The president made a announcement that the guy was caught on national television on a morning show before the FBI could even come out with the details. Telling you, this guy right here is not well liked for what he did to Charlie Kirk. Now, I don't know Charlie Kirk, but I will tell you this. This guy is getting martyr status and a treatment like he was a president that was killed. You know what I'm saying? And what was wrong, what was done to him is unjustified. I'm going to be honest. That is not cool. You know what I'm saying? But you can see the way this is getting national attention and all this other stuff, moving all the way up until this guy going to court this afternoon, which they're supposed to be televising this. Look how big they making this. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. But anyway, listen, this is what you need to know so far. More information has come out. This guy right here, like I said last week, is a bona fide dumbass. And what you're about to see just proves it. Check it out.
We begin with Garrett Tenney live at the Utah County Jail in Spanish Fork with all the breaking details on this investigation. Hi, Garrett.
Carly, good morning to you. We have learned that the suspect told at least several individuals that he was planning to assassinate Charlie Kirk. In one of those instances, it was in a note he left for his romantic partner. In another, it was a text message to a separate individual. Neither person has been charged, but they could be down the road as the investigation continues. Here's FBI Director Kash Patel describing one of those messages last night on Hannity.
We've collected information where, through witness interviews from the FBI and local law enforcement, that he essentially admitted after the shooting and assassination of Charlie Kirk, the suspect admitted to it. But I will say what was found in terms of information, a text message exchange where the suspect specifically stated that he had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and he was going to do that. And when he was asked why, he said some hatred cannot be negotiated with.
The alleged assassin was an avid gamer and very active on Discord, which is a popular messaging platform used by a lot of gamers. We've learned that shortly before the 22-year-old turned himself in, he confessed to assassinating Charlie Kirk in a group chat on Discord. In messages obtained by the Washington Post, he wrote, "Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this. I'm surrendering through a sheriff friend in a few moments. Thanks for all the good times and laughs. You've been all amazing. Thank you all for everything. We also know just hours before those messages, in a different chat group, the alleged assassin was joking with friends who said he looked really similar to the man the FBI was searching for. Here's Kash Patel on Fox and Friends describing how those chat groups are factoring into this investigation.
People think we can just get in these group chats and immediately find out who's in them. And there are scores of people in this Discord chat room. But we have to effectuate legal process. We have to go out there with search warrants so that if prosecutors want to later use this evidence, it's not tainted by being illegally obtained.
The accused killer is expected to be formally charged today, and those charges are expected to include aggravated murder, which does bring the possibility of the death penalty. And in Utah, that can either be by lethal injection or by firing squad.
Firing squad.
Carly?
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Garrett Tenney, live for us in Spanish Fork, Utah. Garrett, we will be watching. Thank you so much. Let's bring in former Assistant FBI Director Chris Swecker. Chris, thanks for joining us. We learned a whole lot yesterday, and almost all of it had to do with this alleged assassin's digital footprint, messages that he sent beforehand saying that he was going to commit this crime, and apparently messages that he sent afterwards admitting to it. So how are investigators going to be using these messages to build their case?
Well, it'll be a very important part of their case. I mean, this is shaping up to be a very, very strong case. You have all the forensic evidence that's been piling up. You have these statements in the gaming chat room, if you will. The FBI has been gathering all this evidence in, as well as the other investigative agencies, and it really does paint a picture. So you knit all that together for a prosecution, and there just aren't a whole lot of defenses to this type of evidence. What I think Kash Patel was correct. What people wonder, why isn't the FBI in these chat rooms monitoring things that are going on? It's just not that easy. They need a tip or a lead from a member of the chat room or a member of the public that's had access, because they can't just go willy-nilly surfing through all these social media sites and chat rooms and gaming sites. There are DOJ guidelines and FBI guidelines and constitutional guidelines that prohibit that.
But Chris, now that we have those guidelines and those requirements met, the FBI is combing through the digital footprint, not just of the alleged assassin, but those with whom he communicated. So, Chris, to me, the real question at this point is, what charges could this possible extended network face if they are found to have radicalized Tyler Robinson into killing Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, it opens up the possibility of a conspiracy type of charge. That's going to be very difficult. This type of charge is very difficult if it's encouragement or passive, just listening to the information and not reporting it to law enforcement. That's a tough one. But that's something that I'm sure they're looking at very hard. If it's after the fact and they didn't say anything, that's one thing. Maybe accessory after the fact. If they were privy to pre-planning and information that would have helped help law enforcement intervene and prevent this, then it starts to get a little bit stronger. So I think it remains to be seen here. It could be a stretch, but let's see what happens. I think they have a better chance of doing that type of case in federal court.
So one of the charges he is currently facing, it could change later today, but one of the charges he was arrested on is aggravated murder. And you heard Garrett say that does meet the criteria for the death penalty in Utah. Do you see that is where this case is going?
Absolutely. I mean, that's been mentioned in press conferences. It's been, the governor made it a specific point to mention that. And I think that's one of the reasons that, the state charge is much stronger, is they want to leave that death penalty on the table. There is a federal death penalty, but it's a little bit more difficult. So, and Utah has had executions in the not too recent past. So it's up there for and I would not be surprised at all to see the death penalty enhancement in the indictment itself.
And some notes on what people can expect later today. FBI Director Kash Patel set to appear before the Senate Judiciary Committee. He's going to obviously face questions on this probe. There's also going to be an appearance by this suspect, 5 p.m. Eastern time. It'll be virtually streamed from the Utah County Jail. There's also going to be a press conference held at 2 p.m. Eastern time to talk about the charges filed in this case. So we will be watching all of it as it unfolds, as we know, Chris, that you will be as well. Chris Swecker, live for us. Thank you so much.